Hey, Nite here. In the last episode, we rescued Larissa's crew and decided to show mercy on Captain Helene, leader of the Sea Drake pirates, after Larissa poisoned her. We also finished finding dwarven parts around Stros for Rulorn, allowing him to repair a dwarven spear. Next, we found a letter with clues to Captain Izod's treasure buried on the island. It took us a minute, but we eventually found it. Finally, we received word to meet up with Captain Kayleen now that we assembled a crew for the spearhead. Okay, so now we need to meet up with Captain Kayleen. Oh, but first, let's level up. One attribute, one skill, recipe for chicken, and I'm guessing these are the ingredients for said recipe. Alright, stamina. One skill point, Savage Beast. When you cast an animal companion's ability while you are in combat, you generate 2 ultimate. This effect can occur every 8 seconds. Let's do that. Okay, let's go find Captain Kayleen.
Good to see you back in one piece.
Nicolene told us to meet with Lambor, so let's talk to her.
Hey, the captain's looking for you.
What's going on?
Thanks to your work, we can go ahead with the heist. We've even got a few extra sailors clamoring to join our crew. You should talk to the captain upstairs.
I'll go speak to her. Captain Kayleen is ready to start her heist. When I'm done recruiting, I should look for them at their hideout in town. Okay, so nothing changed in that text.
This waiting rots my limbs and wearies my mind.
There's scum over there. They just lure ships onto the rocks and strip the wrecks.
All true.
You're back! Found anyone else to help us with the heist?
We're moving along.
Ha! I knew you'd get it done. Who needs the old crew, those traitors, when we've got you helping us?
I remain and will pray for patience.
Okay, that was simple enough. I should speak to Captain Kayleen when I'm ready to help her with her heist. I think we're ready. And there's Larissa, Jakarn, and Naramo. All standing there. Do they have anything to say?
The Dwemer were wonderful machinists. We could learn much from studying their works.
Probably.
Quite the motley crew, aren't we?
Yep.
It's a wonderful day for a sailing trip, isn't it, friend? Especially if it gets me off this rock before Bosek chops off my head.
That's why I returned the gem to him. To get him off your back, remember?
Head to Saintsport.
Why?
This waiting rots my limbs.
We've got a crew to rival the legends. Time to make some money. Don't you agree?
I agree. What now?
Now we're ready for the real challenge, the heist. The target's Bosek. That slimy bastard's finally going to get what's coming to him. We're going to steal his sailing logs.
His sailing logs? Really?
His sailing logs are the key to our fortune, friend. They're the records of every ship that's docked here, every stolen cargo they've unloaded, and every illicit payment made to Bosek.
How does that make us rich?
Those records are worth a fortune to King Vaharajad. They're written proof that Bosek has violated the king's order to stop raiding Breton shipping. With those papers in hand, the king can threaten to destroy Bosek if he doesn't stop.
The king's agreed to pay you for them?
Absolutely. His envoy is on the dock now, waiting. As soon as we turn over the sailing logs, he gives us a fortune in gold. The trick will be getting into Bosek's palace, stealing the logs, and getting out with them. That's your job.
How do I do it?
First, you need a servant's disguise to get into the palace. The papers are in a lockbox on the top floor. Bosek has the only key. Slip this powder into his drink, then grab the key.
And then?
The lockbox is always guarded. The guard's not bright, but he'll raise the alarm if anyone tries to open the box. Deal with him quietly. No stabbing. Lambor and I will have the ship ready to sail when you return with the papers.
All right, I'll be back soon.
All true, Malero. Yet at least we would earn coin.
You go if you want.
The first step in breaking into Headman Bosek's palace is to acquire a servant disguise.
Call for such talk. I remain and
And now it wants us to talk to each of the crew.
Oh, yes. Hello. This is fascinating. Did you know the Dwemer had devices to rapidly mince fruit?
Interesting, interesting. Can you help me get into Bosek's lockbox?
I can offer help with the guard, perhaps. You wish to deal with him quietly, correct?
What's your idea?
I removed this device from Clanker. When pressed, it produces quite the incapacitating shock. If you would test it for me, preferably on a living subject, I would be grateful.
I'll take it, thanks. That sounds dangerous. I'll handle the guard my way. Well, let's talk to the others first, see what they got to say.
It's a wonderful day for a sailing trip, isn't it, friend? Especially if it gets me off this rock before Bosek chops off my head.
Listen, Jakarn, can you help me get into Bosek's lockbox?
Bosek keeps the key around his neck, cinched steel. I'll get the key off Bosek. Meet me out back.
All right. What about you, Larissa?
Quite the motley crew, aren't we?
What do you think of Captain Kayleen's plan?
She's right. You need a disguise to get anywhere near Bosek. Fortunately, you have me. Just say the word and I can have servant clothes waiting for you at the palace.
Okay, this sounds more interesting than the other two. Thanks, Larissa. I'd love your help.
My pleasure. Meet me outside the palace. I'll pick out something special for you.
All right. Oh, I can still talk to them and choose their thing? I don't know.
It's a wonderful day for a sailing trip, isn't it, friend? Bosek keeps the key around his neck, cinched steel. I'll get the key off Bosek. Meet me out back.
No need, I'll steal it myself.
I like your confidence. Let's see what you can do.
Okay, so I do have to reject it.
Oh, yes. I can offer help with the guard, perhaps. I removed this device from Clanker. When pressed, it produces quite the incapacitating shock. If you would test it for me, preferably on a living subject, I would be grateful.
That sounds dangerous. I'll handle the guard my way.
Of course. I have no doubt you'll be up to the task.
I appreciate the effort, though.
Over there. They just lure ships onto the rocks and strip the wrecks.
Okay, now we need to get that servant disguise.
You go if you want.
I like the disguise mechanic. That's why I think it's the best
Peace,
option.
Malero. No call for such talk. I remain and will pray for patience.
So now I assume we head to his palace? Yep. Bosek's palace, to be specific. Oh, and we got a mount. Let me use that. And I'm going the wrong way again. Great. Already off to a great start. Complete it. Obtain a servant disguise. Well, I didn't really obtain it, but okay.
look who's come to pay a visit.
Did you find a disguise for me?
Oh yes, try these on. I'm sure they'll fit you just right. In the meantime, I'll just continue my sweep of the palace.
Good job. I have the clothes to disguise myself as a servant. Now to put them on. Right in front of the right in front of the palace, in front of everyone. Okay. They'll never know. Headman Bosek isn't inside the palace. I should ask around to find out where he is. A Hypothetical Treachery, Part 1, by Anthil Morveer.
Things have never looked worse.
A one-act play. That is a very long act. I'll spare you the horror of me reading. Aunt Anella's Cookbook. Doro Deer.
Fancy a tune while you scrub the floors?
No. Goodbye. I appreciate it, though. Letter to Headman Bosek. I demand that you take immediate action against the treacherous Captain Helene and her band of sea drakes. They have held the island's only lighthouse for over a year now. In that time, 18 ships have run upon the rocks. I have no doubt that Helene is sabotaging the lighthouse to wreck these ships, leaving her minions to loot the broken holds. While this greatly enriches her, she pays no taxes to you. Is this not a crime? Trade is your currency, and shipping's your lifeblood. What do you think will happen as a result of Helene's piracy? Ships will seek harbor elsewhere. Food will stop coming. Will you eat lizards, mud crabs, rats? What will you do when you run out of wool for clothing and leather for shoes? If trade with your fiefdom ceases to be profitable, your new regime will be short indeed. I implore you to gather your bloody fists and any fools you can buy. Send your army to Saintsport, rout the sea drakes, and take Helene's head before she grows even more powerful. I am your staunchest ally in Glenumbra, and will be so as long as our partnership remains profitable. Silence Helene. Let our partnership not wither. If you leave Helene's greed unchecked, the next head on a pike may be your own. Your friend, Lady Brunwyn. Okay. So, we spared Helene. Was that good? Was that bad? I don't know.
Be gone, servant. Do your work and stop bothering me.
All right. People treat the help here poorly. Figures.
You're not staying for dinner too, are you?
No.
Isn't he done talking yet? I've been waiting forever.
Onsi's bones, what is it now?
Have you seen Headman Bosek?
Shouted at you too, did he? He just went out back to carouse with the latest slatterns from the mainland. Best hurry up and refill his drink. You don't want him running out of drink.
No, we don't. Don't worry. I'll teach him a lesson. And they don't think it's weird that a servant just has a bear walking around with him.
This place would be nice if Bosek weren't around.
Probably. Oh, there he is. Anything interesting around here before we go and talk to him?
About time, you lazy rat. I'm near empty. Fill me up before I have you whipped.
Jeez.
Ah, I could lounge out here forever. So nice.
You're in my light.
Excuse me.
Ah, I could...
Nope. Can I not talk to Bosek? I guess not.
Ladies, entertain yourselves. I'll be right back. That's some strong stuff. Whoa. Need to sit down. Everything looks funny.
He's asleep? Already? They don't usually nod off till after.
So they just they watch me put something into the drink, and then drinks it anyway. Okay. And these two could care less. There's his key.
Did they just pick Bosek's pockets?
I won't tell if you won't.
You're in my light.
Okay. They didn't care at all. I have the key to Bosek's lockbox, which is inside the palace, on the upper level. Mythical beast, real powers. Rizlav the Righteous Part 1. Helthor?
Go! Leave Helthar alone.
Okay. Alright, so I guess we gotta try and find a way to get him away from the lockbox. Oh, door dear. We're back.
Another day, another whipping. This job just gets better and better.
Does Helthor ever sleep?
Sleep. Ha! He hibernates, but only when he's not guarding Bosek's things. Doesn't drink or smoke or carouse either. He's too dim for it, but he loves bashing heads.
Does he ever leave his post?
Never. Well, I take that back. See the brazier behind the throne? We don't light it ever. Helthar's terrified of it. His family burned up or something. Last time we lit it, he ran like a rat from a burning warehouse.
Okay. Thanks for that information. How convenient. Let's light it.
Smoke! Why does Helthar smell smoke?
Run! Run!
Fire! There's fire there! Fire bad! Ah!
Wow.
Helthar, hide!
He has a touch for the dramatics. Holy cannoli.
Rule my fate.
Shipping logs. Alright. I have Bosek's shipping logs, the evidence Captain Kayleen wants. I should find her at the docks. Alright, let's head to the docks then. That was a fun little disguise quest, I guess.
I could use a break.
Here's Captain Kayleen.
My friend, welcome back. Do you have some good news?
Here's the shipping logs.
Here you are, Tharwab. The shipping logs that show Bosek's defiance of the king's decrees. Come on, it's time to go.
Look at all these people on the ship now.
On your feet, man your stations. Prepare to sail. Finally, home to Betnik. I've missed my clan.
Okay, let's talk to Captain Kayleen.
Before we leave for Betnik, talk to the crew. Get familiar with them. It'll be a long trip.
Alright, I'll get to know the crew.
If there's one thing Master Kassan taught me, it's that knowing your ship and crew keeps you alive. Seems like you'd make a fine captain someday, but you'll have to find your own ship.
I would. Alright, where do we want to start? Let's start back here. I think we can get up there from here. Oh, Kawi? That was, Shazim's monkey, right? We can't talk to him. Vimy.
This should be an interesting voyage. Quite a crew Colleen has thrown together.
Who are you?
Vimy Lacroix. I'm a collector of sorts. One who travels to places others dare not go. I hoped to join Naramo's expedition to Bizark. When I heard he had completed it and was sailing on, I just had to come along.
What do you do exactly?
You're inquisitive. What I do well. You'll be glad to have me on this voyage if we encounter slavers. And I make a wicked sliced ale.
Cool.
The Spearhead's a good ship, but she's no maiden's breath. At least she'll get us away from Stros Mackay. Looking forward to getting to know Lambour better. I like an orc with a quick blade and a quicker tongue.
Oh, alright. I'll put in a good word.
Again, sailors flock to the Spearhead. For this, Kassan is thankful.
We already talked to him and we chose these. I guess it didn't save the options. I'll see you later.
To be on the seas once again. This is paradise. Headman Bosek is a cruel master. If Colleen will have me, I will join the Spearhead's crew.
I'm sure she's accepting anyone willing.
I can't wait to see Jakarn's battle scars. I'm sure he's got them everywhere.
Oh boy.
Blade's Edge. We're setting sail with the famous Jakarn. Alethian and I have a bet on who's gonna bet him first.
Oh man. Jakarn's got groupies. Wow.
Wherever Captain Larissa goes, I go. Even on this tub. Can't wait until we get our own ship again.
I'm sure you will. She's crafty for a reason.
I'm looking forward to seeing Jakarn in action. I hear he's an incredible sailor. Lots of stamina.
What made you decide to join us?
Following Jakarn, of course. Why else would I be along? I'm looking forward to working alongside him, sweating shirtless in the hot sun. You wouldn't understand.
I guess not. Wow, okay. Man, Jakarn is really popular.
I knew Captain Colleen would get another crew together. When she wants something, she gets it.
Yep. We already talked to Nicolene about all that stuff, so no need in repeating that. Let's go below. I don't think we went below deck the first time we were here.
Ah! Oh, don't sneak up on me.
What did you do on the Maiden's Breath?
I was quartermaster. I made sure we had the supplies and equipment to do whatever Larissa wanted.
Do you miss it?
For now. But Captain Larissa's hoping to get her own ship again. We'll see how things go in Betnik.
Can't hold a sword yet, but I can hold a book. Perhaps I should find a book that will teach me to fight with my left hand.
Probably. So he can only hold mugs for drinking and books. Probably should get that hand fixed out. Letter to Captain Larissa. Captain Larissa, I see little point in this exercise. What good can come of the crew listing lost possessions? Will Deragor suffer without his lucky dice? Will Herdon languish without his illustrated, lusty Arconian maid? I slave still to scrap together enough gold for a ship, let alone the trivialities the crew lost on the Maiden's Breath. Expecting me to help them replace their lost possessions is ludicrous. For now, I will file this list where I keep Grenard's extravagant sheafs of recipes. I pray that you come to your senses. Of course, I have already ordered replacements for the makeup, clothing, and wigs used to create your many identities. All of this comes from a pittance, and I am certain you will be pleased. Let it never be said that I do not serve you well. Taloni, Quartermaster. Some great reading there. Nicolene's diary, private. Nicolene's diary. Hey you, whoever you are, this is private. Private. If you read it, I will kill you, I swear. Knife you in the ribs while you sleep. "22, Sun's height. Sailed into Devon's watch today. There were dark elves and Argonians everywhere. I asked Tuma Shah if she knew any of them, but she just shook her head. Devon's watch is crazy looking. The buildings are huge and strange. They all look like churches with spires and arches and such. I bet Brother Cantrals would love it. Nicolene has sketched one of the Dark Elf's towers. It's quite good. She has a knack for architecture. I wonder what old Cantrell would do if he knew I was sailing with Captain Kayleen. I bet he would approve. I kind of miss him, though. 28 Sun's Height. We landed in Skywatch today. Captain Kayleen took me ashore. I thought the Dark Elves were crazy, but the High Elves built like they want to prove something. You can't take 2 steps without seeing some crazy spire thing. They're nuts. Nicolene sketched a bunch of towers here, all in a row. They might be made of crystal. Gall and Pox, the High Elves are so snooty. I could tell the motherless slods didn't want to deal with the captain, but in 5 minutes she had them eating from her hand. She's amazing. I wanted to see more of the city, but the Sonic Elves are really picky about outsiders, so we had to stay on the docks. But we spent the whole day together. I took notes and carried her stuff. 4. Last seed. We got attacked. Master Kassan said it was a Dwemer slave ship. They had mages on the decks, throwing giant fireballs at us. It was terrifying. One of the masts caught fire, but Tumashal climbed up and put it out. The captain turned us into the wind, laughing like it was all a game. They couldn't keep up. Mara, how does she do it? I was shaking so bad after. Kassan has told me horrible things about the Dark Elf slavers. I think some of his family are still in Morrowind. I wonder if he misses them. Anyway, this is the best part. After we were safe, the captain saw me shaking and took me aside. She told me I was brave and did well. Then she hugged me. Hugged me. Mara, I'm still tingling. It felt so good. Okay. 8 last seed. As soon as we put into Daggerfall again, I'm going to take all my savings and buy some new clothes. Something nice and proper. Something the captain will like. I asked Tumashal if Kayleen's ever been married. She flicked her tongue at me, but I bet not. Kayleen's too strong and independent to marry some man. Just like me. Okay. So. Either great admiration or a little bit of a crush. Probably both. Oh, and here's Tumashal.
The crew of the Spearhead grows again. I did not think to see it so soon. The sun shines on us.
Where am I exactly?
You're on the Spearhead, Captain Kalin's ship.
Who are you?
I am one of Captain Kalin's few remaining loyal crew members. The rest, well, the less said of those bloody-minded mutineers, the better.
Okay.
Really, how did they eat this stuff? I'm going to teach Fenlil a thing or two about cooking.
So you're a cook?
One of the finest, my good friend. I used to own my very own tap cafe in Wayrest, before that thug Ugers closed me down. I hope to open another one, once I collect enough coin. Maybe in Daggerfall.
Maybe. So that explains why he was hiding behind the boat last time, because he's a chef. Okay. I'm sorry I made fun of you, man.
Hungry?
Oh, and he has a bunch of recipes that are very expensive. Oh, and here's Shazim.
Just being back on a ship brings more memories. I'm looking forward to the voyage.
I'm glad. Derrigor's lost goods. Knives. Bosomer bone, dice, cards, book, great harbingers of the companions. Book. Antecedents of Dwemer law. Words of the wind. Quill and ink. Captain Larissa. There were other possessions lost in the wreck, but these are missed the most. Getting back some of what we lost will do wonders for the crew's morale. Derrigor. Ooh, Thieves' Trove. Will he see me? I don't know. Okay, I can't steal from it, apparently. I wanted to try out that mechanic and see what it was like.
I suppose I could use another
Does
break.
it recognize that we talked to everyone? Captain Kayleen revealed our next step. Betnik, a small orc-controlled island. I should tell her when I'm ready to sail. Okay. So we talked to everyone. We're ready to sail. Let's talk to Thorwab real quick.
The king is pleased with what you've done here, as am I. You will find a generous reward below decks.
You will find a generous reward below decks. Okay. Now, before we set sail, if you remember in Saintsport, Helene had her own building, house, I'm not sure, but I didn't go in it, because I figured we would go in there when we were recruiting Larissa, but we never did. So I just want to go in there real quick and see what it has before we leave. If you indulge me real quick. I see that guild trader. Is that an actual player guild? Or is that just a thing called a guild trader? Alright. Almost there. There's the St. Port Star. Now, if I could remember which building it is, so we don't have to go through these sea drakes, or deal with as few as we can. I think that's her building back there. Or not. There it is, over there. Okay. But at least some of these sea drakes have been taken out. A blueprint. Redguard stool. Letter to Captain Helene. My dear Captain, it appears I missed you at home. I did, however, have the pleasure of meeting 6 or so of your men. Tough as they appeared, I am afraid they simply couldn't hold their liquor. I do hope to make your acquaintance again soon. I really need to thank you for what you've done to my ship and crew. Pleasant dreams, Captain Larissa. Ah, I'm guessing that's more of a sarcastic letter. Okay. So that was worth it. Found that letter and found this recipe. Okay, let's head back to the spearhead. Well, that was a fun aside. And there's that sentinel statue, not warrior statue, that I got hung up on last episode. Great. Okay, horse is out of stamina. I've said this before, but I do like seeing all these players around here. That's what I like about these type of games. Oh, I don't think we talked to everyone up here. And Drillon.
Wonderful. Now I've been ordered to follow Naramo on another fool's errand. At least the drinks are free.
At least the drinks are free. There's Clanker.
When active, Dwemer spiders have an extraordinary capacity for learning. Now I have to stop Andrillium from teaching Clanker to bring him drinks.
Funny stuff. Jakarn.
Stros Makai's a depressing place. Too many red guards waving their damn swords around. At least on the spearhead, no one wants to kill me except Irian. She'll come around. She's crazy about me.
There's a lot of crazy people on the ship.
What do you want?
You're sailing with us?
Of course. I'll pull my weight, unlike Jakarn. He's not getting near another woman until I'm too old to stop him. And we Altmer live a very long time.
Okay. Man, he can just get away with anything. He got 4 or 5 people on this ship. Let's talk to Lembor.
Captain Colleen took her time getting off this damned island. Doesn't surprise me. Orc problems aren't her problems. But we'd be stuck here if not for your help. I won't forget that.
Okay. Thanks. Oh, by the way, you see Magog over there? He's a really cool dude. Should talk to him. Howler and Larissa.
The spearhead's no maiden's breath, but at least she doesn't have a giant hole in her side. I'd be happy if we never saw land again.
That's it? Okay, now I believe we talked... Oops. We talked to everyone. But before we leave... Let me... Like I said, I had bought the deluxe edition for the Gold Road, which came with a whole bunch of extras. And I think they're still sitting in my mail. I think that's how it works. Yeah, see, look at all this. We get Pledge of Mara and this Halcinder Vale Elk mount. Let me... How do I get this? Oh, E. Take attachments. Okay. Now, do I have to... Okay, there it was. Add it to my collection. So, this is what I'm talking about. The deluxe edition digital content. For purchasing the Elder Scrolls Online Necrom Deluxe Edition, you have received these bonuses. So, a Hermitage Saboteur mount, Cypher's Eye Pocket Watcher Pet, Dark Lady's Headrest Memento, Sitting Scholar Emote. Okay. Well, you can see here, all these things. And this is for the High Isle Collector's Edition. The Blackwood Collector's Edition. The Morrowinds Collector Edition. Somerset Collector's Edition. Greymore Collector Edition. Elsewhere Collector's Edition. Oh, and this is just telling me I can go to the Cyrodiil, the PvP area. Okay. I just wanted to show you that. Okay, so before we head off, I'm going to pause it right here, and then we'll leave Stros M'Kai in the next episode. Thanks for watching. If you have any suggestions, let me know. I appreciate it, and I hope you come back. See ya!